name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here then welcome to my channel, and in today's video we are going to be talking about my favorite anime of the spring 2025 season. I usually wait until the end of the year to talk about my seasonal favorites, but that also doesn't always leave space for like the series that I really like but just don't make the top 10. So here we are currently almost halfway through the spring anime season at the time of filming this, so who knows how this video is going to age for me, just in terms of how much I still like these series by the time this is all said and done. But for now, we are going to start by quickly naming these series that might not be a favorite for me, at least not yet, but that I am still watching. Starting with the second season of Go-Go Loser Ranger, I do like this season more than the first one, but I also do feel like it's only a matter of time before I'm just over it again. The Gorilla God's go-to girl. It is cute with some fun comedy, but also kind of boring at the same time, and the main character is kind of annoying me at times, which makes me sad because I do mostly like this. Rock is a lady's Modesty. I feel like I should like this series more than I have been so far. I like the vibe, I like the focus on music, it does have some good kind of shocking comedy, but I'm also kind of bored with it at the same time, and I don't know what awaits this relationship here, but it sure is messy. Which, speaking of, a ninja and an assassin under one roof. Their dark comedy is very fun, very messy in the way that it is kind of shocking, but at the same time I do feel so bad for the ninja girl, and sometimes that feeling does overtake the comedy for me. It certainly overtakes, again, whatever awaits the relationship in the future for me. But I also can't take this seriously at the same time, nor do I think this series would want me to. It is just a wild show. Moving on to KOWLOON Generic Romance, this show is doing something for sure. I just don't know what it is yet, and I haven't decided whether it's good or not, and it also does feel uncomfortable at times with like lack of consent, but otherwise it is an anime that does feel smart, and I feel like they could land a really great ending. Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuX. I like the vibe a lot. I love their opening and their ending songs. I recognize that Gundam fans are probably having an amazing time with this, and that this is probably a really good show, but I only really have a vague idea of what's going on and with the plot, and that is my fault. And my final honorable mention is ZatsuTabi, that's Journey. There are a few shows this season that I feel like are kind of like sibling series to Laid Back Camp, including one series that we'll talk about later in this video that basically is a sibling series to Laid Back Camp. But yeah, this is one of them. I really love the traveling and just getting to see all of the different places. It is relaxing to watch, but it's also a little bit slower and a little more boring than I would like it to be at times. I'm also not sure that they have like the super fun cast of characters that I would like them to have, but I still really like this series. And that is going to bring us to my favorite anime of the spring 2025 season. These are ranked, by the way. I don't know if I said that yet. But the first anime that we are going to be talking about is My Hero Academia, Vigilantes. And this is a spin-off of My Hero Academia, and it follows our main character who has always aspired to be a professional hero. However, his quirk of sliding has only ever allowed him to admire those heroes from afar. He finds contentment in carrying out day-to-day deeds, but everything changes when a vigilante saves him from a back alley brawl. And this vigilante sees potential in him and enlists him to help him investigate a drug that is boosting quirks to a dangerous level. So while I like My Hero Academia, I have grown a little bit bored of it, and I wasn't super into their most recent season, which did make me unsure about this series going into it, and honestly I do still have like at least a little bit of that My Hero Academia fatigue while watching this. But I also really like the characters so far. I've been having fun with some of the banter, and I do really like how they have incorporated some of the characters from My Hero Academia. I also just like their aesthetic a lot. I feel like the studio did a really good job of giving the series its own identity, and I've been able to just turn my brain off while watching it and have a good time. I am pretty sure that a lot of people really love the manga more than this adaptation though, so maybe I'll go ahead and check that out later. But as somebody who has nothing to compare this to, I'm having a really good time. And next up we have Mono, and this follows the last two members of the photography club, which is in danger of shutting down. However, so is the cinema club. And these two clubs decide to combine and form the Cine Photo Club, where the members are asked to be the main characters of a manga artist's latest work that centers around action cameras. And together they set out to explore and capture the different sites of Japan. So this is that direct sibling series to Laid Back Camp that I mentioned earlier. It's from the same creator. They've made a handful of references and also have like more direct Easter eggs as well to Laid Back Camp within their show. And it does very much feel like a love letter to Laid Back Camp at times, which as somebody who loves Laid Back Camp, I appreciate that a lot. I think it's cute. And I think the that this is a cute series as a whole, the characters are super fun, there's good comedy, and the travel and the photography has been relaxing to watch. Next up, we have Food for the Soul, which follows 5 girls who have just started university and form a club together. They love food, they love to have fun, and just enjoy their university life to the fullest. And this is the final laid-back camp-esque sibling series that I'm going to be talking about today. But in terms of like a fun cast of friends just hanging out, doing a little bit of traveling, and eating good food, like the vibes are there. And I do really like this group of friends. One of them is just an absolute disaster at times, and I love her for it. There's also some commentary on loneliness and finally finding a friend group and just getting out there more that I really like as well. And the series is also from PA Works, so I do suspect that they're good to like land any emotional moments or character growth that might be in their future, and has a really good chance of being my favorite series from the studio since Skip and Loafer. Although I don't think it would ever pass Skip and Loafer because like, what can, honestly? Next up, we have season 2 of Windbreaker. And this follows our main character who is only interested in the strong and is not interested in those who he considers to be weak. He is just enrolled in Furin High, which is a high school filled with strong students who use their power to protect the town. And our main character, he's not interested in being a hero or any of the camaraderie, he just wants to fight his way to the top of the school. So fun fact, that's actually more sad than fun, but I actually really hated season 1 of this anime. But I recently caught up to the manga because I wanted to give this series another chance and I needed a recap. And once I finished the chapters that I needed to read in order to get that recap before season 2 started, I just kept reading and I didn't stop until I was done. And now I really like this series a lot. There's a lot of heart here amongst all of the fighting. And some really great characters as well who have really cute, honestly pretty healthy friendships with one another, which is always lovely to see, and this season has adapted and is going to adapt just some of my favorite scenes from the manga, especially episodes 4 and 5, and especially episode 5. And even though I'm not always super into the fighting and the action scenes, I'm definitely more into it now than I was when I first watched season 1, because I am just more into this series and into the characters now as a whole. So that brings us to the top 3, and honestly this third pick is one that I'm like a little bit unsure about, but I'm gonna let them have it for now, and that is Witch Watch. And Witch Watch follows one of our main characters, Nico, who after finishing her 6 years of witch training is moving back to town by herself. As she's doing so in order to choose her new familiar, however instead of a non-human familiar, she wants to choose her childhood best friend who happens to be an ogre. And although he's against this at first, he does agree once he hears of a curse that could affect him if he disobeys. And they soon find themselves living together under the same roof as they deal with her magical antics and a prophecy that guarantees disaster for Nico within the year. So a few years ago I read what I think was a decent amount of a series called Astra Lost in Space, and I really liked it. I'm actually not sure why I never finished it. I should probably go and do that. But that series has the same creator as this one. So I've always just kind of assumed that I would really love Witch Watch whenever I read it, or in this case watched it. And yeah, that seems to be very much the case. And I mean, they're not perfect. The romance can be kind of weird at times, and the fan service is weird at all times, but they're also super cute and super silly at the same time, like maybe the cutest and the silliest of the season for me. And that brings me a lot of joy. I think they're super charming, and I really do like these two and the cast of characters who are gathering around them. I also really love their references to other anime and manga, and just to their Shonen Jump peers in general. It has had some really fun moments so far, and I feel like a lot of love and a lot of effort has been put into this adaptation, and I'm just excited to watch more. And my runner-up for my favorite anime of the spring 2025 season so far is To Be Hero X. And this takes place in a world where heroes are created based upon how much trust people have in them. And the amount of trust adds up at the points that determine the amount of strength and what kinds of superpowers that they have. The hero with the most trust value is known as X, but with the trust value constantly changing, a hero's path is always unknown. This might be the biggest surprise I've ever had while watching seasonal anime, because the description does not give anything away or do anything to prepare the viewer for what's ahead, and it is doing just such incredible and interesting things with its animation and art style. Like, it has really blown me away and impressed me, and it just feels so unique and refreshing, and I love everything about what they're doing from an animation and art perspective and standpoint. But they're also doing some really interesting things with their story. They have a really solid concept, and it's a concept that is going to allow them to get really smart and just show off more than they already have. I don't know, I just just can't even believe that this series exists, but I am so glad that it does. I was not expecting this at all. But my favorite anime of the spring 2025 season is the second half of the second season of the Apothecary Diaries. And the Apothecary Diaries follows our main character after she is sold to the Imperial Court as a maid as she tries to hide her apothecary background and knowledge to avoid the attention that it could bring her. However, soon after she arrives, she is able to easily solve the case of the mysterious death of the Emperor's newborn children. And even though she tried to solve it anonymously, one of the eunuchs is easily able to single her out and promote her to lady-in-waiting to a high-ranking concubine, where she must continue to use her expertise to solve and fix different situations that happen within the Imperial Court. Season 2 of this anime has just been such a joy to watch. They've been so much fun while also doing the same thing that they always have in terms of high-quality mystery solving, and they're really starting to get into things that they've been teasing, and I'm starting to see a future for this series that I really like. And they've also gotten into the romance more, and again, it's super fun, messy, and a little bit awkward, but intentionally so. And we're really getting some of the fallout of that in the second half of the season, while also just getting to see more of these amazing characters. It also just really feels like a lot of things that they have been doing are building up to what is happening now. So yeah, it is probably my favorite anime of the season. It has been a consistent favorite for me ever since it first began, and I feel like it's somehow thriving even more now in season 2, and I love that for this series so much. Okay, so I am sure that I am missing a show or two in this video, or that I maybe dropped something too early, but that is all that I have for now, and hopefully none of these anime make me regret saying nice things about them by the time the season's over. So with that, thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and answer the question that'll be around here if you want to do that, and hopefully I will see you here next time. Bye!